back on the record, this is the case of the people of the state of Colorado versus James Egan Holmes, case number 12 CR 1522. The record should reflect that Mr. Holmes is present with Ms. Brady and Ms. Nelson, and the people are represented by Mr. Orman, Ms. Pearson, and Ms. Stitch McGuire. We are outside the presence of all the jurors. There's a question from the jury, and I have marked it as deliberations question number 2, and I'll have my staff give you copies in a moment. It reads as follows: is there any sort of guide to where pieces of evidence are? Some way to find things easier? And then it is signed by the foreperson. I have a proposed response, which I will have my staff also share with you. And it reads as follows: dear members of the jury, this is in response to your question about whether there is any sort of guide to where pieces of evidence are and whether there is some way to find things easier. Unfortunately, we cannot provide you with a guide or index to the admitted exhibits. Sincerely, and then it would have my signature. Could you please provide copies to the attorneys of both the question and my proposed response? And I'll let you folks take as much time as you need to review both. I do. Here. This is for them, sorry. I make copies. You'll remember that we talked about this before, and unfortunately, any kind of index or any kind of guide that we provide is going to contain descriptions of the items of evidence, and those descriptions are going to be our descriptions, whether it's the parties or the courts or even a description from all of us, and there may be somewhere we disagree on the description, and that's where you get into the, that's why this is problematic. I anticipated this because there are thousands of pieces of evidence, but unfortunately, I think they have to do it the hard way, which is just sort of dig through and figure out where any piece of exhibit might be. All the exhibits are in the jury room. My staff put all the exhibits in the jury room last night, in fact. We stayed late last night to make sure that got done before they got here this morning. So everything is in the jury room. And to the extent that there are pictures, they're all laminated. To the extent that there are documents, they're in boxes. And then, of course, there are some physical items that are large, and they're in there as well. So I think they just have to struggle through. Do the people have a position on the proposed response?
We agree with it, Your Honor.
All right. Does the defense have a position with respect to the proposed response?
We agree.
Okay. I will sign it then and submit it to the jurors, okay? All right. Thank you, folks. The court will be in recess.